Hello, everyone. Welcome to the call today. My name is Sarabi, and today we're pretty much going to be talking about how to use the Meta Business Suite as a marketing tool to help automate your Facebook and Instagram pages. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to automate like other social media sites, Meta Business Suite is only primarily for Facebook and Instagram, but you can use other like bio links and social media sites for like LinkedIn and Twitter and Pinterest and all that. This is strictly for Facebook and Instagram. So let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Now, when you create your Facebook business page, your Meta Business Suite is automatically going to be a free tool that comes with it. So if I click on this is my business page. If I go to the left side here, right now I'm interacting as myself. I mainly do that for myself so that way I can actually like invite people, to my page. So let me go ahead and just do that, because they won't allow you to do that as your business. You can switch over between yourself and your business from here, but you can still access your Meta Business Suite even if you're using your personal account. So I'm going to click on that. It's right here on the left side. And once you actually, make your business page, this homepage is going to pop up. It's not going to automatically connect to your Instagram. You will have to link that together, and I'll show you how to do that towards the end here. But basically, you can manage both pages at once, all through this app. Now, you can do this on your computer, and then they also have a free mobile version that you can download on your phone for on the go. So I use both of them, the mobile app and the computer app. They have different functions. So depending on what I'm trying to do will determine if I'm going to use my phone or if I'm going to use my computer. But that is an option for you as well. And then it's really cool because it has all the necessary stuff on this homepage. So if you have messages or comments that you need to respond to, that's all on here. Oops. I didn't mean to click on that. New terms and conditions will be listed here. If you have current stories or posts, or if you want to quickly get to the planner, you can do that here. What's new in the Meta Business Suite, because they do update this app very often. So you kind of want to be familiarized with some of the new features that they do, because they don't warn you, they just do it. So you can see all of that here. And then any videos or reels that are kind of associated to what you're trying to do. So depending on what you follow on your business page, it's going to show information and related or recommended videos to that. So that's where you can find some cool reels and videos here. Now, if I want to look at my notifications, it has immediate access here. So whenever someone comments on your post, that's going to be here. And anytime someone messages you, that's going to be here as well. It's always going to be high priority. And then other notifications are going to be down at the bottom. So when people are reacting, like liking your stuff or sharing your things, that's going to be down here at the bottom under other notifications. And it's really cool too. So you can see certain names and certain people are engaging with your content, and then you can quickly go in and respond to those. Now, the same kind of deal is with this inbox. This one I like to really hone in and talk about, because this is going to affect some of your percentages. So like you can see here, like I was commenting and, conversating with one of my accountability partners. We were talking about travel and stuff. All of that stuff is going to pop up here, and it's going to tell you when someone messaged you or commented on your post. Now, if you want to look at specifically Messenger, you can do that as well. Or Instagram, you can do that here. Instagram comments, you can directly comment or like or respond. It's really up to how you want to do it. But I will always say set up automations for your inbox page, because people are going to be commenting, or not commenting, but messaging you a whole bunch of stuff. Depending on if it's Instagram or Facebook, you're going to get people that are trying to sell you things, and you don't want to bring down your response rate percentage just because you're not responding back to those people. And I say that because that's what happened to me. There was a lot of people in my inbox trying to sell things that I am definitely not interested in, and I left them on red. And what that was telling my business pages was that I wasn't responding to clients, and that brought my percentage rate super, super low. It was saying that my average was like a week before I responded to people. So I had to really set these automations up, and that's what this little I call it like the Neutron little emoji or symbol because it reminds me of Jimmy Neutron. That's just what it does. But it's automations here. So when you click on this, basically what it does, anytime you get a new response in your inbox, it's going to send out a message automatically to that person. And then you can go back through, see what the message said from that person, and then you can then decide whether or not you're going to respond again to that or not. And that what that does is increase your percentage. So that way your response rate is still high, but you're filtering out who you're going to respond to, who you're not, and who's, really there to actually inquire about, travel or, inquiring about business stuff. So definitely have it set up. It's very easy. The one that I have that I'm using, I didn't even come up with it myself. It created it for me. So I'm going to hit create automation. And then this is going to be instant reply. It says in use right now because that's what I'm using. Yours is going to say create. Mine says edit because again, I already have mine in use. You want to select both Messenger and Instagram because you're going to get messages from both. And then this is the message that it came up with. Hi, thanks for contacting us. We received your message and appreciate you for reaching out. Very short, simple, sweet, quick to the point, right? So this is what is going to pop up every single time someone messages me. And then you'll hit create here once you get it. And always make sure this is set to on, because if it's down here, then obviously that message isn't going to send out to people. You want to have that on here. But yes, it comes in handy like 100%. Like, let me show you an example, because you get, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that come in and message you for things. And you're just like, why do you keep doing it? Like I had one person, they kept going and going and going and going. And I'm like, you didn't get the point. Like I'm not messaging back, but they kept messaging. So let me see here. Which one was it? I think it was this one. No, it wasn't that one. But see, this is a good example. This one. Hello, blessings to you, Lord Savior. And then how is your health today? And still send a message. I didn't obviously respond to it. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I don't respond to messages like that. Sometimes I just don't. That's just me personally. But, it sent it out anyway. And it kept my percentages up. Because right now, I think I'm at 70%. I'm probably never going to be at 100% because I spent 2 months ignoring people. So, build those percentages up, make sure your response rate is high, because that actually kind of incorporates into your algorithms and stuff as well. Because if it's showing you're not being social, it's not just about commenting, it's not just about sharing and, connecting with people. You also have to be responding to people in the messages. They track that as well. So all of that is built into your algorithms and how it affects your pages. So just keep that in mind. And then I'm going to skip the planner for right now because I want to do that towards the end. But then they have the content here. So if you really want to go in and see what content you have posted, if you want to change anything, you can go in on here. It tells you everything that's posted. So a lot of these are from BranchUp because it posts automatically. But like on the things that you actually have access to, if you want to add something, you can do that. This one is like an offer that I just posted. So if I want to view the insights or edit the post, I can do that as well. Now, be mindful, you cannot change the pictures once it goes live and is posted on your page. But if it's scheduled and you haven't posted it yet, then you can edit the pictures and things like that. But once it posts, you're not able to change it that way unless you delete the post altogether and then repost it with the new information. So you can go in and really see the insights of each of the things you're posting. So let me go ahead and just click on this one. View insights. And it'll give you some quick stats about what's going on. So I shared it twice. I have one reaction. This is my reach from it, so it gives you an idea of, what is being posted and what the engagements are, how well it's doing. Now, what I really like about this post and Reels tab is it also manages the posts that you put in groups as well. So for example, let's see, it's loading right now. Let me give it a minute. So if you schedule, So for example, if you schedule something ahead of time, I think this one is a group also. Yes, so it'll tell you which group you posted this into, and then it'll give you the insights for it. So I know, for example, like this group, this Lincoln County buy-sell trade group, nobody reacted to it, nobody engaged with it, it doesn't have any reach. So maybe that's not a group that I'll be posting into in the future, because as you can see from the stats, nothing is going on with it when I posted it into that group. So that it's a really good way to really see what groups are actually working for you. And then you can decide whether or not you're going to continue posting into that group or find something else. Because ideally, when you're posting ads like that and mock bookings, you want to have some engagement. That's really what's going to bring people to your page. So if you find a dead group, nothing's going on with it, then why keep posting into that? It doesn't make sense, right? So I really, really, really like this tab. Is this the same one? I think this is. Yeah, so I really, really like this tab. Go into your contents. If you're sharing your post into groups from your business page, go in there and see what they're doing. That way you can get a good grasp of what, like I said, what groups are working for you and which not. So you can make those adjustments to ultimately grow your following and your likes on your business page. If they're scheduled, any scheduled postings, that'll be listed here. Anything in the drafts will be listed here. When you're scheduling postings, you can schedule things up to 70 days in advance. So if it's beyond that point, it's going to end up in this drafts here. Now, same thing with the stories. It's going to give you which ones are active. I don't have any active stories right now, but that is going to change by the end of this training and the end of the day. Because I always like to have something on my story for people to look at throughout the whole week. So have something on your story here. It'll tell you how much longer it is, because with stories, they stay on your page for 24 hours. And then what's scheduled for your stories as well. Then feed and grid refer to what your page looks like at the current moment. So feed is what my Facebook feed looks like. If I go on there, this is what people are going to see. And Instagram, this is what they're going to see on my Instagram page. So that's what that refers to. If you want a quick look on comparative aspects on what they look like. Mentions and tags refers to anybody that tags you in their posts. If they, put at Herenity Vacations or at Sarabi or something, that's going to pull up here. And then collections, depending on if you post a lot of pictures or not, you can go in, look at your albums and see, what collections you have. Typically, I just post my Facebook photos, like just regular, and then I have a whole album for just my certifications. So that way, if a client or somebody that's not stalking my page, that's looking at my page is curious, they know where what I'm specialized in, and my certifications are all there for them. But you can always see your timeline photos. There's a lot of them because we post a lot of pictures when we're doing our mock bookings, mobile uploads. So sometimes I do them on my phone. They'll have all that access here. And playlists, I don't have any playlists really. But if you do have a playlist, that'll be there, and any series that you may have. So if you're going live or if you're creating like a real series, that you'll find those there. But I don't see many people that actually have those on their business page. Now, insights. This for me is probably one of the most important tabs in the Meta Business Suite, because it gives you real life numbers of what your actual pages are doing. It's not hypothetical. It's not what if. It's telling you what's working for your page, what's not. So every week it gives you this review of what your past week was. So this is how many posts I did, how many stories I had, how many posts I did on Instagram, what my reach was for that week in comparative to my goals, and then my results for my reach. So this is how much I had on Facebook, and then this was on Instagram. So not bad for a week's work. If you want to go into detail, go to view all insights, and it's going to do a full breakdown of everything for you. So right now, this is my current goal for my page. I'm going to have 15.9 thousand people in reach on my Facebook page, and then 1.2 thousand for my Instagram page. It's very doable. Last month, my goal was the same thing. I hit 14,000, and then for Instagram, I want to say it was like 3,000. So I upped myself. I made it an intermediate goal instead of a starter goal because I want to push myself. Right now, it gives you a comparative of what you're currently doing and what the goal is. So as you can see, I'm falling just short of what the goal is supposed to be, but it's still early in the week, or it's still early in the month. I still have time to, bring it up a little bit. Okay. So it gives you a number of what you're actually doing. And I like it because it's real. It tracks everything for you and you have all that information. Same thing with Instagram. Started off really good. I'm starting to, dwindle a little bit. So I need to create more content, be more consistent to keep it up and keep up with the rate that I was going at when I first started the goal. So definitely go in, set your goal. You're only able to set your goal one period at a time. I tried to do both of them at the same time, and I ended up losing all the progress from my previous goal. So if you are going to be doing this, just choose one at a time. If you want to switch it off again later, you can choose a different type of goal. But as of right now, this is what mine is. I always like to increase my reach because that means more eyes are going to my page. Now, this is going to tell you what your reach is. For those of you that aren't familiar, the difference between reach and impressions just kind of refers to reach only being how many eyes are going to your page. So that's how many people seen it. And impressions refers to how many times that post has been clicked on. So I give the example, if Sally had, clicked on one of my posts 5 times, my reach is 1, but my impressions say 5 because she clicked on it 5 times. So just try not to confuse the two. Just because some has like high impressions doesn't necessarily it reached a lot of people, which is why it's important for me to make sure I have more eyes on my page than more clicks. And then looking at this, it gives you an idea of, where your spikes are. So obviously you can tell the days that I actually posted reels because there's spikes on those. I know exactly which days these are, what I posted, and I can see what really increased my my reach based off those posts versus if I just shared images and like regular mock bookings. You can visually see what's working for you. So, what that tells me is I need to do a little bit more videos because obviously that's working. I see the spike and my goal is to have it a little bit more linear than that, mountaintop action type of thing going on. Same thing for Instagram, posting more videos. Posting images and things is still working a little bit too, because it's a little bit higher on the list. But as you can tell, like, again, those videos are really going to be what drives my business page, which is what I'm going to be doing more often from now on. Same thing with your page and profile visits. It gives you idea of how many new people have visited your page based off of the day. So again, you can see the days where I was less active on my pages versus the day I was really active, right? The spikes are, it's foolproof. It tells you the numbers there. So there's nothing hypothetical about this. Same kind of thing with new likes and follows, right? It tells you where your up points are, where your drop off points are, your stagnant points. So I really, really like these. And the best part about this is all of these are exportable. So for every single one of these, every month I print off one of these at the beginning of the month. And then at the end of the month, I compare. So I can see where my page has grown and I can see, what's been working for me throughout the whole week and what hasn't. So if that's something that you like to do, if you like to do these quarterly or weekly, however often, these are definitely exportable. You can download the PDF and then, put it in a file or something for you. So really like to look at my results. This one is paid ads. So if you choose to pay for, boosting your posts, that is perfectly an option for you. Honestly, I tried boosting 2 posts in the beginning of this, like it was in the middle of June, I believe. And my reach was way more when I was just sharing into Facebook groups than it was when I boosted those 2 posts. So if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. I prefer the free route because I tried the paid route and, it didn't give me the results I was looking for. So that's an option for you. I know some people, if they already have a post that's doing very well, they'll boost that post and then get more people. So that can be an option for you too as well. Facebook is very good about setting your budget and catering your reach to that budget. But again, I mean, me personally, I just prefer not to do that. I'll just share into my groups, which is why you see a 0 all the way across the board. But definitely go in here, see what your results are, and then you can go from there. Now, audience is going to tell you exactly who your audience is and what the potential audience is for, both Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to start with the potential first. Again, I have a copy of this so that way I can cater my business to make it look more like this, but it gives you some basic demographics. This is estimated how many people are on Facebook and Instagram right now. So a lot of people, right? Demographics, mainly women, and then they have the age brackets here. So, pretty linear across the board, except for 18 to 24-year-olds. They're probably like more so on TikTok. This is just an assumption, it's not fact. I'm guessing mostly on TikTok, but around our my age bracket, and the older age brackets, they're on Facebook and Instagram, right? And then this part, it tells you the top cities that are on Facebook and Instagram as well. Well, why would you need to know this? What kind of groups are you guys joining in? Where are you guys joining in? You want to be highlighting these top 10 groups in every single time you're joining a group. So I'm joining buy-sell groups in New York. I'm joining buy-sell groups or no rules groups in Houston, Chicago, San Antonio. You want to be in front of all these top 10 cities because they're on the top 10 list. So that's where you're going to increase a lot of your reach as well. Starting off, the first 10 days of the month, join these groups and then start joining surrounding cities around those groups. And then, branch off to your local city or however you want to do it. If you want to just be known as a local agent, that's perfectly fine. Join groups around your area. But I want to be known everywhere. So I join every single one of these and then, my local area as well. And then you want to try to post into them, connect with people that are in these cities as well, because again, that's going to increase your not your engagements, but at least increase your followers and your likes, because again, you'll be in front of more people. And then on the bottom here, top countries, top pages, things like that. Tipsy Bartender, it never falters. He's always on there, but you can't blame him. Those videos are amazing. So now that we've seen potential, this is what my current audience is as of right now. So these are my followers. These are my Instagram followers and my demographics. So naturally, I have people that are in my age bracket, mostly on here for both Facebook and Instagram. So it makes sense. A lot of friends from home, family, things like that. And then, I'm starting to get more of a traction in the older age brackets and the younger as well. Same type of thing with Facebook or Instagram. Now, if I scroll down a little bit more, my top cities are listed on here as well. Right off the bat, Columbus, Ohio, that's where I live. So it makes sense. That's going to be top. San Diego is where I'm from. So again, I have a lot of family or friends and things like that follow my page. So that's going to be there. Wilmington, my dad is from Wilmington. So he lives there. In Augusta, Georgia, my husband's family is from there. So the top 4 off the bat is already going to be like friends and family. So that makes perfect sense. Same thing with North Augusta. But now once you get down to the bottom, this is strictly from groups. So Indianapolis, New York. Already have two of the top 10 cities on there. So we have New York on there, we have Indianapolis. So perfect. Joining those groups, it shows that it's working. I'm getting people from those groups to actually, turn into followers for my page. Arlington, Texas. I don't even know where that's at, but it's in Texas. But I'm getting people from there, right? I'm pretty sure that's coming from more so like the Houston area, maybe. I don't know. I probably should know. We're travel agents, but whoops. Reynoldsburg, that's another city here in Columbus. And then Winston, Georgia. So, right, I have to look up these areas, but right off the bat, I have 2 of the top 10 on there on my page. So I call that a win. So that means, you know, I need to start working on getting into those other surrounding cities around them to kind of up the numbers a little bit to bring them higher on my list. Same type of thing with the rest of the top 10. I'm going to be joining more groups around them so that way they can get onto this list and bump down some of the ones that are just for locals. So really proud to see that, actually. And then you can go in and see what countries are on there as well. We have United States, Nigeria, South Africa, Australia is on the map because I also build in Australia. So I'm proud to see that on there. But you can really go into detail and see what your demographics are from your audience. And then you can learn to see, then you can learn to cater to those that not are only on your page, but those that are not on your page, and you can create content around there. Now, feedback refers to like if anybody leaves any ratings or responses. I don't have any yet, so that's why that's at 0. But once you start getting a consistent rating, then that's going to be there. And then benchmarking refers to any like comparisons in other businesses that are closest to yours. So, you know, Instagram followers, content interactions, published content is going to give you like a comparison between your business and other people's businesses as well. And if you want to look at businesses to watch, you can look at that. Now, content. So this is another thing that I really like because this is going to tell you what's actually working for you, if your postings are working for you or not. So right off the bat, from October to January, I started doing more of my reels, and it shows because my reach has increased from my beginning days, I will say, to now. So, you know, looking at doing videos, images, links, those are obviously my top 3, but based off of 27 posts, videos already take the cake versus 167 images that I've posted on my page. So that already tells me right there that what I'm doing now is actually working for me, and it's actually growing what I needed. It's doing what I needed to do. Same type of thing, reach per content. Reels is doing good. Album posts, that's okay. Live posts, I only did 3 so far. So we're working on it. We'll see. But other posts, that's already 367 posts that I've done. And live already is on the map higher. And I only did 3 of them so far. So maybe live post is going to be one of those things that if I do it more often, it's going to probably be the top 1 or 2 spot, right? So we'll see. Hopefully by this next meta training, I'll have a little bit more of a movement there, which is why I like to do these every other week. So you guys can see growth with these actual analytics. Same thing with engagement. So again, with my earlier time versus now, somewhere, somehow it fell off. So now I had to figure out how to get those engagements back to help me with my algorithms and, you know, boost my page in that way as well. But again, you know, I have my videos, more people are interacting with those versus my images. I posted that many and they're 0. So it's getting there, but it needs to, you know, grow a little bit more. And you can look at it compared to both Facebook and Instagram, because what works for one page doesn't necessarily work for the other. All these social media sites have different ways and different algorithms. So you want to be sure you're catering it to the right thing and changing it and flipping it so that way it works for both. So again, looking at this, my Instagram fell from, you know, this to this. So, you know, we're trying to figure out what happened there. I have an idea, but, you know, just figuring out what I did to, well, not what I did, but how to maintain those reach to get it higher to where it needs to be. Posting videos still is number 1. Instagram, they love reels. That's just what it is now. It's not just about pictures anymore. So, you know, posting more videos, obviously. And then my engagement. So even though my reach fell, my engagement increased. So obviously, you know, posting videos is still doing good. Maybe because I have to be a little bit more consistent with posting videos and posting more of them versus just the ones that I post on Facebook, that can increase my reach as well. So definitely just see what you can see, right? These go from the past 90 days. You go in there, you learn things, you try things different. When I first started this Meta Business Suite, I showed it was back in July. I had posted my first like reel ever. I didn't know how to do it. I was like, and it happened completely by accident. So I posted my first reel, and the video based off of that one reel, it had what happened? It had the highest engagement compared to all of my previous mock bookings and flyers and things like that, just by posting that one video. And that's what kind of kickstarted the reels and the TikTok and all that stuff. So you never know what's going to work for your page until you try it. Get out of your comfort zone, try different things, and then, you know, fine tune it to make it your own. So that would be my only advice to you for that. Go in there, see what content is working for you, what you can try, and then maneuver and change it up a little bit. Now, this is going to give you all of like your access and your numbers on what your content is doing. So how many likes, more so kind of like how it was in this content or this content tab, but it gives you into more detail, the likes, the reach number, all of that stuff on there. So for example, let me show one that did actually pretty well. I'm gonna do one that did high. It's probably going to take a long time to show, but it categorizes it for you. So it'll tell you if it was a regular post, if it was a story, or if it was a reel or something. I'll just click on this one because I don't feel like scrolling all the way down. So it gives you a good little diagram of what it is. So I shared it 12 times. It had 4 reactions onto it. This was my reach from sharing it 12 times, and then, you know, my reactions. So it categorizes the performance for you. So it pretty much did well, even though I only shared it 12 times, which ideally when you're sharing things, it should be more, but you know, consistency is a thing. It's a challenge sometimes, but we get in there. But that's an example, right? It'll tell you what your numbers are doing and what, you know, how it's helping you pretty much. Now, messaging, this is where that percentage rate is going to come into play. It gives you a messaging performance and it grades you based off of that. So starting conversations, I don't start conversations. That's just me personally, but I'm probably going to start, you know, from my business. I do it on my personal, but I haven't done it on my business. But that's why you see it here. I only started one conversation and it gave me that negative percentage on there. Versus, you know, messaging new people. You can automate, or I guess it says you can earn, you know, you can earn from messaging people and, you know, orders and stuff. I didn't know this prior to like looking at this, but I guess that is an option for you. So if you want to start earning orders and things like that, you can do that through messaging, and then it'll give you your response rate and time. But I don't have enough analytics for them to actually give me a performance or a percentage on this yet. But that's where that kind of comes to play when I was saying making sure those automations are set up so that way it'll increase your percentages. Now, if you're doing videos, then it's going to give you a video tab. If you're not doing any reels or lives or anything, it's not going to show you this tab. But this is basically my analytics for the videos that I've done so far. So I post lives. I do those on Thursdays. And then I also post my reels and my TikToks on my page. So this is going based off of what I've done. So, you know, 90 minutes viewed. So how many times, how often, or how long somebody's watched it, or not just one person, but, you know, over a period of time. And then how many minutes for my 1-minute videos, my 3-second videos, 150 reactions, 26 like net follows from that. And when it says net follows, it means people who have followed you and unfollowed you. So that is the average that it does. Now, if you see here, this one was a high engagement because that was one of my most current lives that I had did. As you can see, like the spikes, the ones that have like the highest number on here, like 29, 117, 213, those are the lives that I've done. The other ones are more so like the 30-second mock bookings or the 30-second videos that I've done, which is why they don't have that many minutes viewed, because they're not very long. But I'm glad to see that people are still watching those previous lives that even though they weren't on the actual live itself, they went back and rewatched it. So that was pretty cool. And again, it goes into, you know, organic. If That's people that you don't pay to boost your page versus paid, what you posted, what you've shared, how many followers actually are watching it, and non-followers, which looking at this, I have more non-followers watching my stuff than actual followers, which is good to know because I need to figure out how to make content to convert them from a non-follower to a follower. And then if it was a live or a video. Now it's gonna rank your top performers on your videos based off of the minutes viewed. So right now, this one was, again, my most recent live. I do Travel Trivia Thursday. If you guys want to join, we're doing it at 7:30 p.m. EST. And, we give gifts and stuff. So that has 103 minutes viewed. You can view the insights on there for each one. If you go into detail, I want to kind of click on, let me click on this one for a minute. Go view insights. It'll give you an idea of everything that's going on. So what the average is, what the fall off point is, the peak, how many non-followers versus actual followers were actually on there. So again, it gives you the numbers here, the average minutes viewed, and then the real minutes viewed on there. Let me see here. Typically, this graph has like a fall-off point, so it looks more like it starts here, then it drops, and then it's linear. But it looks like from this one, it was pretty stagnant, where they stayed and kind of engaged with it, which is pretty cool. Oh, there it is. This is what I was talking about, the retention. So start off at the top, and then it falls off, and then it peaks again and goes back and forth until it's stagnant, and then it finally drops off towards the end. You can go in, see how many recommendations there was, how many shares there were, how many followers watched it. And you can really dive deep into a lot of these analytics, especially with the audience. I don't have enough insights to see this information, the country, age, and region, things like that. But from what I've seen, I think it's pretty cool. I have a good idea of who's managing and who's watching my page as of right now. Now, benchmarking, same type of thing, comparing yours to other videos that you've done. So you can benchmark those. Audience is really going to be where you see who's actually watching these videos. Again, it's going to give you that retention rate. If it's stagnant, if something falls off and goes stagnant, or if people watch it all the way through. So it's going to give you that information. This one is pretty cool because this was actually a mock booking. So it tells me that people pretty much stayed and watched the video for the rest of the time, which was awesome. And then loyalty. I like how they named it loyalty. So come on, don't do this right now. Let me refresh my page real fast. So this tracks your follower activity based off your videos. So again, net followers versus, people who are following you now and who unfollowed you. So this last quarter, I had one person unfollow me to my previous quarter. So that's that increase because I lost only one instead of two, which is perfectly fine. But guess what? I gained 27 versus 24 from the last period. So it gives you a nice little idea of what your page is doing and how people are engaging with your stuff. So far, I have 2 returning followers going back on my pages, which is nice because I had it at 0. So that's progress, right? Take everything as a milestone. Complete views, 211. That's good. That means people watched one video or another video all the way through. So that's progress as well. Returning viewers, it gives you a nice little diagram here as well. And engaged followers, I don't have that yet. And then you can go in and see your retention for your videos as well. When people are falling off, when is the drop down point, and then you can cater that to make videos that are engaging your followers a little bit longer. So this was at 0 because I only had 30-second videos for mock bookings. But now because I'm doing lives, they're a little bit longer, this increased to 128. Now, guys, there's always going to be a drop-off point. All right, it's typically between 3 to 15 seconds. So depending on what you're doing, what you're posting, that's going to typically be the retention rate because people will see how you start off your video. They're going to decide if they're going to keep watching it or not. So looking off of this, I got, high 3-second videos, and then my drop off rate is 21.9%, which is actually pretty good because it increased from what it was before. The same thing with this one. People were sticking around for, 15 seconds because, whatever I'm posting is actually engaging them. So that's actually a really good number. You're going to always have a fall down rate, but I'm pleased to see these because when I looked at it, it was actually in the 200 mark. So I like this. And then from here to 1 minute, it has 20.1%. So I like those numbers. If you don't like to look at it in this way, you can look at it in line graph form or percentage form. However, it makes sense to you. I'm visual, so the bar graphs make sense to me. And then you can go in and see the average time spent people actually watched your videos and things like that. And then eventually, this is a goal one time to start earning money from the reels and things like that. So insights, I really love going in there. I'm very much a numbers person and because numbers don't lie. It's not hypothetical. It's all like hard numbers. So I really like to go in here every week to see what my page is doing. If you want to go in here every other week, that's perfectly fine. I just like to fine tune and change up my tactics a lot when it comes to my pages so I can manage and do what it is I need to get done. Now, Planner, this is going to be one of the most helpful, I would say, tabs in the Meta Business Suite because you're able to actually schedule your posts ahead of time. So if you go, I'll go to my December. So a lot of the posts that you see were on like 12 o'clock or like on the hour, like 10 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something like that. Chances are I had scheduled that ahead of time. And most of the time when I'm doing this, I try to schedule myself out at least 2 weeks in advance. So that way that gives me at least a week grace period if I'm not as consistent as I would like to be, to actually have a grace period where there's things still going on to my page. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to schedule some stories today because as you can see here, it's bare and I need to get that done. So I use Pleasant Holidays' pictures for them. I already went ahead and downloaded all the pictures I wanted. So let me go ahead and go into Canva. All right, so all of these I have to actually post and schedule for the week. So this is Cook Islands. That's what this week is going to be. And all I'm doing really, guys, is just branding myself. I'm not going to put any kind of call to action on this. I'm just putting my information, my logo, and then a QR code. Keep it simple because this is going on my story. It's not going to be an actual post. Here, let me move this notebook out of the way. So I'm going to put excuse my daughter in the background. She is learning to talk, so she is making her voice known. I love it though. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. Then I'm going to make this. All right, so I'm going to go to Elements. I'm just going to add website icon on here. And again, when you're doing, like if you're using this to post your mock bookings, that's perfectly fine as well. I typically, when I'm scheduling out my postings, I don't like to do ones that have like a short deposit time because, obviously the prices and things can change. But if it's something where you're just doing like this, it's very simple. You can schedule this out ahead of time with no problem. It doesn't have a price to lock in. And if you are doing it, just keep in mind that, typically they change things daily. So you want to be on top of that if that is going to be an option for you. Now, I do mocks where I don't have prices incorporated at all. I call them information mocks, where I just highlighting like a a destination or something like that, just to put on my page. And the best thing about it is if you don't have time to create like a mock booking how you want with the pricing, you can add one of those on there and it's still reusable, because chances are when you posted it, some people that have seen it may not be the same people that see it this time. So definitely reuse your resources. Content creators do it all the time, which I'm finding out about. So I'm going to be reusing a lot of stuff that I started off with in the beginning of this, because they don't know. They were probably not following me at that time, so they would never know. Now I'm gonna brand myself. Miss Lori Showman taught me that. Amazing, amazing lady. So I love how this picture is because my logo is yellow and I make it look like a sun. I think it's pretty cool. And then I'm also going to add a QR code to this. So Canva, actually, you're able to do those. Let me go in. QR code. So what I'm going to use, I use Linktree. They have a QR code on here, but because I'm already branding myself, I'm not going to use the one that they have because it has like a little square in the middle where you could put your logo. I'm just going to copy my link on here. And I'm going to enter this into the QR code. And then I'm going to customize it. I want it to kind of match the background a little bit. So let's see if we can get this to be like a cool color blend. Maybe I'll make it like the beach color, maybe. Yeah, so it stands out just a little bit. And then my margins, I just like to have my margins out 0. That's just a personal preference. And then boom, that's my code. So I'm gonna stick this bad boy right here in the corner. Make it a little bit smaller. That way, when people want to, they can go to my website, and then if they really want immediate access to my information, they have the QR code there as well. It looks a little blurry. Okay, maybe it's just because I had it like super small. All right, and that's gonna be my story. So I'm gonna schedule this out all week. And the cool thing about Pleasant Holidays, guys, they have these for like they have a whole bunch of these things. So I downloaded every single one of them, the Instagram version, because it's a square version. I know it's going to go everywhere. And every single week, I'm going to post one of these. So 12 weeks of content just to post on my story, which is awesome. So if you guys have been in the business for at least 30 days, register for Pleasant Holidays and, get on these little things because it's free content. You don't have to create everything. It's already there for you. Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Go back. Okay, so I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna call it Resolve Cook Islands so I know which one is which. Download it. All right, now while that's downloading, I'm gonna go back to the Meta Business Suite here. I'm gonna hit this plus sign and it's gonna give you a drop down menu. If you wanna create a reel, you can. Just be wary if you're using your computer, you have to already have the video put together in order to schedule it on your computer. But if it's on your phone, you can put it together that way. Scheduling a story, which is what I'm gonna do, or you can schedule a post as well. Now I will click on this just really, really quick so you guys can get an idea. If you're scheduling a post, you're able to schedule into 5 different places at once. And when I say that, I mean, you can do your Facebook, your Instagram, and if you have groups that you're joined on as your business, you can schedule up to 3 groups in addition to your Facebook and Instagram at a given time. Now, if you want to post just into groups, you'll have to create like another schedule post, and then you can schedule the additional 2 groups. So that way you have your 5 for the morning, you have your 5 for the evening, and the 5 for the afternoon. So keep that in mind. Once you do your Facebook and Instagram page, you can schedule 2 additional for that time block. And then for afternoon, you can do all 5. And then for evening, you can do all 5. So really cool feature. If you know you don't have time to be posting consistently into those groups, that's an option for you as well. So I'm gonna cancel this because I'm not doing a post, I'm doing a story. Schedule story. And with the stories, you can add up to 10 pictures or videos. So you can decide if you want to do both. I'm going to start this at 9 in the morning because that's when I normally do my mocks. Save, add media. Now I did kind of overlook this real quick. So you can choose what time you want it out, or you can go based off the optimal time that they have. So what the optimal time is basically how many people are, or the best time to actually post onto the Facebook or Instagram at a given time. So ideally tomorrow at 7 p.m. is the best time to post this, but that's already the end of the day. So I like to post mine in the morning, which is why I do it that way. And this is what it's going to look like. So it gives me the idea. It has my stuff on there, and now I'm going to schedule it. Now, tomorrow at 9 a.m., this is what's going to pop up. It has my Instagram and my Facebook already on there. Now, for those of you that are just now getting started with this, if you want to link your Instagram page to this, you will go under the All Tools tab. And one is going to give you everything on here. So billing, account quality, all that stuff, planner, monetization, if you need more. And this is a side note, but if you want to put your qualifying form on Facebook, this is how you do it. You do an instant form where you can ask some questions to qualify your clients and things like that. That's another way, another CRM software that you can use if you don't want to put your actual quote form on Facebook. But, you know, that's pretty cool. But back to the Instagram thing. If you go to page settings, don't do this to me now. Let's go back. Page settings. Oh, man. Okay, so if you're taking notes, go ahead and write this down. You'll go to page settings. It's going to open a tab. On the left side is going to say linked accounts. You're going to click on that. And then it'll give you like a WhatsApp link and then Instagram. You're going to click the Instagram one and follow the prompts to link your Instagram into it. I would show you, but obviously it's not letting me do it. But that's how you link your Instagram business page to it. You don't want to link your personal page. And what this does is anytime you post on the Instagram, it's going to automatically post onto your Facebook business page and vice versa. So if you don't want it to do that every single time, then it'll give you an option, like a pop-up whenever you're doing it, if that's something that you want to do. All right, everyone, thank you so much for attending today. Right now, we are going to open it up for the Q&A. If this was helpful for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thank you thank you so much. All right.